Hi, my name is Kat, and my big question about myself and my future is how to have my two big passions, which is biotechnology and television, coexist both at UCLA and in the future for me. So I've spent most of my time academically in high school focusing on the hard sciences, the STEM classes, calculus, biology, chemistry, and I've built this amazing knowledge base of how biotechnologies are able to be developed and knowing all the science behind them, and it's fascinating. But the part that I care about is how they affect other people, how they can actually do good in the world. That's where the bioethics of it all comes in, which is this new field that I learned about just a couple of years ago, where it's about determining, okay, this is how technologies are made, and this is how we can actually have them perform what they're meant to do, how we can actually cure sickle cell anemia with CRISPR, and sort of figuring out how to actually implement it in the real world and make a real difference with that knowledge base. And that's something that's always sort of been the dream for me. But not too long ago, in my sort of pandemic middle school, early high school days, the dream was to be a sitcom writer on great shows like The Office or Friends or Seinfeld, because I love comedy and I love storytelling because it's a way to explain the world the same way that calculus does and proofs and limit tests explain certain things. It's the way that writers write and the way that relationships are portrayed. It explains why people feel the way that they feel. It's a model and a predictor of human behavior, the same way that economics uses supply and demand graphs to predict human behavior. I see a little difference, but really just core similarities between The Office and a PPC graph. And I've seen how these passions of mine can interact in a couple of instances. And the first one was after my year-long research internship at UCSD, when I made this beautiful research poster right here about exosome therapy for curing cancer. And we had to give these 1-minute lightning talks and to get sort of people excited about our research and coming back to learn at our posters. And I got a lot of people coming to my poster, and it wasn't because my research was the most impressive or the most interesting, it wasn't, but it was because from watching all of these television shows, from learning the process of how these things are created, how these models of human behavior are created, I know how to tell a story. I know how to get people interested in what I'm doing. And it was sort of a moment for me where everything clicked, where I was like, oh, all that time I spent reading these books and watching interviews and reading articles and obsessing over it wasn't just a waste of time, because it actually can help me in doing what I want to do and get people interested about my research. And I've also seen this the past year during my Girl Scout Gold Award, where I did all this research over the summer on ACL tears and why they are more common in women and how to prevent them. And I had all of the amazing academic resources. But the hard part was getting a group of 50 middle schoolers on a track team to actually care when I presented to them. I had to tell the story of an ACL. I had to involve the audience. I had to make it interesting so that they would listen to me. They would respect me and respect whatever authority a 17-year-old girl had to tell them all this information and to actually do the curriculum that I was teaching them how to do. And it's sort of this great intersection and this great combination of these two passions that I've had. And now I don't necessarily know exactly how this could work. It seems what I've been doing now, it's these skills that I've learned have helped me more in the sort of academic, more traditional career that I've been looking at. But I do still love TV and I love sitcoms and I love learning all about this. And when I saw that UCLA had the film minor, I got so excited because all of these classes seem so interesting. And I'm kind of at this point mentally where I'm like, I don't know how I can have these two passions, these two sides of myself that are pulling at each other, coexist into a career that I'm going to be 100% happy about. And my question to my mentor and to my peer community at UCLA is, how can I do both? UCLA has all of these resources to do so many amazing things, and I want to take advantage of as many of them as I can. And I just want to know how I can do both, how I can fit both into my schedule, and what career path and life path I can find where I get to pursue both of my passions and see how they interact.